Today I'll be showing you how to rebuild and clean the carburetor in your dirt bike. This bike is specifically a 2000 XR80R. I'm probably not going to show how to take it off since I already have it off, but I'll go an overview. For this you had to take your seat off, which was a bolt on this side and a bolt on that side, and on the gas tank you had a little strap and that pulls off. On the gas tank you had two options. You could either take this one main bolt out or the two on each side. I took those out, and then come down here. Your carburetor will be attached right here by two studs coming out of it. You're going to take a nut off these back sides. Nuts are 10mm, and then pull it out a little bit. Pull your gas line off, fuel line off, and then your throttle needle down here. This cap just sits down tight. Unscrew that and be careful, and that should take it off. Now, come over here to the carburetor. So you can see, I've got mine apart, but it's going to be like something like this. So just sit down there. It'll be like that. This is upside down, but if you set it like that, that's how it'll go. To get the bolt off is two screws, one here and one in that hole right there. And when you do this, you're going to have a long line, and this is just going to come from the bottom of the bowl for a drain. And then up top, right here, that one, it's going to be another vent. So you just take that off. You don't have to worry about, these only are connected to the carburetor. They don't go anywhere else. So you take those two screws out, pull this bowl off. You're going to have some gas in there. You can see on the dirt in mine. And then your floats are going to sit like that. And this this pin will go through this first post, through the floats, and through the other post. You can just use I use the finishing nail to push it through. Be careful when you bring that out. You can see the float needle is hanging on there, and you can't see it, but it's two little wire pieces that slide right over. So that's how that comes out. I'm going to go ahead and start disassembling this, and I'll show you how to do it. I just cleaned it out, but I got a whole rebuild kit with all the jets and stuff here, so here we go, and I'll show you the rest of the steps. So far I've taken out this right here and this right here, and this small jet comes from this small port right here next to the big one, and whoop, this big one right here is what I'm assuming is the main jet. So that goes with this. This will be your main jet right there. I'm not really sure of these terms, but you know. So this large one goes in the larger hole, and the smaller one goes in the smaller hole. And the way that works is the smaller one sits down in there. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a little slot on it for a flathead screwdriver, and just take her out real gently. It's not too hard. And then this one right here has this like cup on the top. My rebuild kit doesn't have something that looks like this, but I'll show you that. This also has a spot for a flathead, but I just use an adjustable wrench on these. What looks like a bolt, I guess. So this is for your pilot jet. This will be for your main jet. This is where your gas comes down and through, and that's about it. This is this down here. I'm not very sure what that is. It looks like some sort of plug. I'm not gonna mess with that. So the next step would be, I really don't like messing up the fueling jets on these, but since they look like they're included in my rebuild kit, there's a rebuild kit for you who'd like to know. I'm going to take these jets out here on the side, which are right here and right here. So I'm just going to, oh, you can't even see that. Right here and right here. I'm going to take them out. There should be a spring inside of this casing on the screw, and let's hope I can get it to run right again. So there we go. I'll take this apart and see what I can do. Alright, I removed my two fuel jets here. You can see this one's bigger, so I'm gonna go call that the main jet, which is this one right here. And that took 7.5 turns to get out. So if that helps anybody in measuring if they need to adjust it, 7.5, and that took what could be the idle jet. I'm not very sure, which is this one right here. That was 8 turns to get out, so let's hope that works. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but down in here in these channels, there is dirt laying down inside there, so that needs to be cleaned out. And I'm not going to worry about cleaning my jets out because I have replacement ones, but I'd recommend cleaning them off if you're not replacing them. So next thing to do would be spray this whole thing down, all the orifices down there real good, down through here, remove the choke, all through all the holes. Clean out the bowl, and if I were you, I'd squirt off the floats. Also, if you're reusing your float needle, squirt that off as well. So I'm going to go ahead and clean mine, and then we'll get back with reassembly. Alright, so I've cleaned everything up, and what we do now is I'm going to install my new gaskets, and the new gaskets I have on this would be, where is it? Oh, right here. This is where, this is like an O-ring type gasket that meets up against the engine, or the intake manifold, I suppose. And then the other one would be on the bowl here, the bowl gasket, as you can see. Now I'm going to do that, and you can figure out how to put those in, because they're simple enough. But what I figured out is, on the dirt bike, there's comes down to the top, that screw thing I showed you. It's this plate, and it's this thing. This right here. Whoop. This right here, and inside of it is this needle, and slides down through. And then on top of that is this type of retainer. You can see it's kind of like a V shape, and that slides down in there, and that holds that needle in place, and that's your throttle needle. Now, the way to get this off is, this is going to be sitting in there, and there's this channel, and if you look down on this channel, I don't know if you can see it, but the throttle cable comes down and pulls past this so it hooks in. So all you gotta do is just push the cable down and pull it up through here, and I just stuck a screwdriver in there and pulled that out. Here's the thing, this is a little, you're not gonna be able to see this. On here you can see that little ring. There's a few different positions, and I'm not sure, but I think that's how you jet it. You might be able to get a little more performance out of it like that, but that's probably pretty important to keep in the same spot, and this is in the 3rd position from the bottom and 3rd from the top, so it's directly in the middle for future reference. So I'm going to go ahead and change that out, and put the gaskets in, and I'll show you all back together. As you can see, we're all back together here. New gaskets in, put the new gasket in here. There's also a 3rd gasket that goes onto the top piece that screws in there. That's not hard to change. Next, I will be installing this new needle for the throttle. I'm going to be installing this little piece onto it as well. This little washer here, my finger, right here, and the other piece. So I'll get back. I'm not recording everything this time, so if you ever have questions, just leave them in the comments. So I'll show you when it's all back together. I'm just going to throw in a quick clip or so in here. After I rebuilt the carburetor, I really didn't get a picture or a video of it. Here it is back on the bike. I had to do some tuning on it because it idled around 9,000 RPM because I had the screw in wrong or just not adjusted right. And there's a little part before this you'll see that shows it running when I first get it, but I'm just going to set the camera up here and start it up and maybe go on a ride. So, I'm just going to set this back here. No. It has been started for about a day or two now, and it's a cold start, about 60 degrees. So the idle might be a little high, but it sounds pretty good to me. Still a little cold, so I'm gonna try to put this on the mount here. I don't know how good this works, but we'll try it out.